Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Hi, welcome to the Talking Real Money podcast. We want to help you deal with your money better, which means investing better, protecting it better, saving it, spending it, all that stuff. And one of the things we are constantly bombarded with are these new creative pitches for financial insurance products, because the insurance industry, these folks, one, they're not heavily regulated, and two, they're very creative. Very creative. So Tom, what do you think the latest and greatest invention from the insurance industry might be now?
Cradle to grave insurance, Don, where I wake up, I'm 1 day old, and I know I'm going to be taking care of the rest of my life.
Have an income.
I'm not going to have to worry about
your life.
That's it. I'm good. Whatever it is, I'm taking care of.
Oh, golly, you're pretty
What's
close.
What's that going to cost me? What's that going to cost me? Huh?
You're pretty close. There's a couple of new things out there, and I'm just not. There's very little chance they're going to be good for you. They're going to be good for your insurance company and your insurance agent and all those guys. Very, very, very little chance they're going to be good for you. One of the latest is a Social Security protection plan.
This is for the country, for the individual?
No. This is for individuals.
Okay. I thought individuals. They were going to guarantee Social Security.
No, they just raised a bunch of money to fund this new idea. Because there was a report out that said Social Security, if nothing changes, well, that's an important qualifier. If nothing changes, will start pulling in less than it pays out.
Thank you. It will not go bankrupt.
No.
That's the phrase they always use to scare people. Oh, it's going to go away in like 18 years or 19, whatever it is.
Well,
no, it's still bringing money in. It just won't have enough to pay everything out as it is today. That's it.
These Social Security protection plan salespeople are implying that your benefits in 2033 will be cut by 24%. 24%.
Okay, so think that through just for a moment. You are 70 years old. You're living in Iowa. 80% of your income comes from Social Security, which is not an outrageous. I mean, for a lot of people, Social Security is the majority of their income. Mm-hmm. And you go down to your little computer terminal, type in my bank account, find out that your benefit
voice got
is
very high. I'm a little concerned about it.
I'm still hot from Mexico. And you find out that you got 20% less than you did the previous month. Now, will you just say, oh, that's really not very good because now I can't pay XYZ bill? Will you get angry? Will you take the pitchforks and torches to the Capitol? I'll bet it will be the latter. Social Security is what they call the third rail of the U.S. government, U.S. political system, for a very good reason. Because so many of us are going to be dependent on it in a big way in retirement. So this idea that the Congress would just do nothing and just say, oh, well, that's just tough. You'll be okay. You're 70. You'll be dead soon. It doesn't matter. You can use less money. That is not politically. I cannot see how that would happen, period. So these people that have put this together, I think, are outrageous. This is a scare tactic. And guess what? It's a sales tactic for them to take in money, your money, so that you feel protected from something that is so unlikely to happen. Now, remember, there have been other crises. Social Security set up 90 years ago. So there's been a few crises along the way. And guess what has happened? Well, they did things like increase the amount of the tax. Really? And what's on the table today? Well, maybe increasing the tax, maybe, and I think this makes a ton of sense for younger people. that they can't start drawing it until maybe 65, 66. People are living far longer than they did 90 years ago. There's a lot of things that could fix this with a very small change, Don. So I think this is an outrageous sales pitch, truly, and should be completely ignored.
Wow. Wow, he was just hot about that one. Man. Well, yeah, then you won't like this one either.
You didn't like that one.
If you didn't like
saw
that
my
one, you're
holiday
not
spirit
you're not
there.
gonna. If you didn't like that one, you're not gonna like this one. This is from Kiplinger's. You know Knight.
I do know Knight Kiplinger.
It's a new thing here. I love their names. A personal pension plus.
Oh, this is my cradle to grave thing, huh?
Personal pension plus. What it is, they finally, way down in the article, get to a description of what it is. It's called a contingent deferred annuity.
And will you please explain?
You've never heard of those, have you? Contingent deferred annuity.
Deferred annuity.
What it is, and I'll just read you their description because
you
I'm
know
not
what a
sure
deferred
exactly
annuity
how
is.
they work.
Yes.
A CDA, of course, it's got an acronym. A CUDA. A CDA acts as a risk wrapper for your IRAs, Roths, and brokerage accounts. So it's insurance that wraps around your portfolio. And if for some reason your portfolio fails to pay what you thought it would pay for whatever reason, the insurance will at some point, with lots of qualifiers, kick in and give you a little addition to your income.
So it's guaranteed never to go down.
No, your income.
Below
a certain level.
Yeah.
Yes, below a certain
You're
level.
guaranteed.
Now, I don't know what that level is, and that level is probably at a number that makes it incredibly profitable for the insurance company and a terrible deal for you, because what does this wrapper cost? Bear in mind, you're not really investing any money in this. You're just sort of buying an insurance policy should your income fall below a certain level, and they're going to do the math and go, well, that's not likely to happen. They're going to charge you between 1 and 2.2% of all of your assets for this insurance policy every year.
How's the track record been on this?
Track record?
Yeah, how's it done the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, et cetera?
There is no track record.
Oh, so this is something they just dreamed up somewhere back in New York to start selling you.
And what really bothers me is, by the way, this is not Kiplinger's. This is one of my beefs with the personal financial advice industry. Remember, back in the old day, I used to be a talk show host who got a paycheck for doing a nationally syndicated show.
That you did.
And then I got replaced all over the country by people who bought time. Like we do now. True. We have to. Would you think the show would get carried if we didn't buy our time? Rick Edelman bought his time. Basically, Dave Ramsey does the same with revenue sharing. You can't get on unless you subsidize the radio station. So, anyway, this article was written by a guy from a company called Retire One. Guess what they sell? Yeah. And it says that this article was written and presents the views of the contributing advisor, not Kiplinger's.
Okay, so with anything that you invest in, you save in, buy insurance, there's trade-offs, right?
Yep,
You're giving them money, and they're giving you something, I guess, back in return. So there's trade-offs. And the other thing we know about the insurance industry, you mentioned this briefly, they have to have I was asking about track record. They have a terrific track record. It's unbelievable track record of making them a lot of money, not making you so much money. But they've done a great job of creating these products. Don't have to look very hard. Variable annuities, equity index annuities, You've gone back and done the research on equity index annuities, found out, Don, that they paid out somewhere between 3 to 4%, and they kept the other.
And that, well, by the way, that
5 or
was
6.
That was
Quite a years
ago.
Yeah, it was quite a few years ago.
That was a decade ago.
Yeah. So, this is another situation, and I'm stealing this from another talk show host, where you're simply saying, I'm scared, I'm worried about the future, and I'm going to let them do it because I can cover my eyes, they'll take care of everything. but you're just going to pay them a whole lot to do something that you really do not need them to do. With some basic understanding and a correct portfolio and a plan, you don't need this product, but it sounds great. It has that guaranteed ring to it that I just want everything guaranteed.
Yeah.
Haven't found that yet.
Yeah, it's not the way it works. As a matter of fact, I'm working on an article that I'm writing for Third Act magazine in the Butte. I think Third Act may be in a number of markets now, but I'm writing an article on annuities, immediate annuities, and their issues. They have issues. The people in the insurance industry don't want you to think they have issues, but they do. It's a game. They're playing with you, and you're going to lose because they did the math. Speaking of that, people send us questions all the time at talkingrealmoney.com, and literally this one just came up in rotation.
Boom.
Kismet. It's Kismet. It's a miracle.
Okay.
That we got this question. Because the subject, Tom, is annuities.
Ah.
I love this question. Written in to talkingrealmoney.com. I did a bad thing. I was talked into an annuity by my advisor, who I thought was a fiduciary. Until recently, I thought I had one of the good annuities, but once I did the math, I found that I have a horrible annuity. I love this guy's writing style. It's an indexed annuity based on the S&P 500. Mm-hmm. And how they pay is too complicated for this post. Are you kidding? It's too complicated for a 24-hour day.
Are you kidding? It's too complicated for the agent who sold it. Most of them don't understand how it works.
Clue. Had I just put my money into the S&P 500 instead, I would have $231,000. But alas, I have a meager $159,000. A $71,000 difference.
I was going to say 80, so rounding.
In other words, it cost me $71,000 over the last 4 years. See, that's the price of that guarantee.
Yeah, that's the trade-off of which I spoke earlier. Yes,
that's
correct.
It. That's why I said this was kismet that this came up.
Yeah.
My
is
question
there a question here? Oh, okay,
yes. My question is, we have a setup. You know, I got to tell you, you are the most impatient question answerer.
I haven't had anything to eat all day. I am starving, so please.
You know, as your father probably used to say when you were in the back of the station wagon, you should have thought of that before we left.
That's a good point. Now that you mentioned that, I got to do that too.
Okay.
So wait a minute.
Hey, my question is...
Yes.
I may just turn this one into a video cast too because it's funny. My question is, should I get out of this thing now and pay the current surrender charge of...
How much?
6%?
After 4 years?
Instead of waiting 5 more years to get out from under the surrender charge?
Miserable years.
If so, would it be wise to plunk this money into an S&P 500 index fund? This money represents 14% of my overall portfolio, and I am 57 years old. Thanks, guys. Love your podcast. I hope this message helps reinforce to your listeners that annuities are horrible.
Well, they're not horrible. They're very, very good for the people who sell them. For the people who sell them. It's a matter of your perspective.
So what should our correspondent
Yeah, I mean, this
do?
is something that I'm going to steal from you because you said this 10 years ago once when we were talking about this. Mm-hmm. This is a case of you can pay me now or you can pay me later.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have to bite down hard and pay the 6% on the, what did he say,
150. Well, no, 159,000. Yes,
yeah, 160. So there's 6 plus half of that, $9,000. Rather than waiting it out another 4 or 5 years. Here's another idea, though. You could do the 10% a year that you can take out without paying the surrender on, and then at the end of that, take the rest of it out.
Yeah,
there's another way.
Let me put the question in the form of a question, kind of like Jeopardy. Are you okay, personally, putting your money into an index fund that might next year, the year after that, go down a lot, and cause your value to decline well below the $150,000 that it's going to be when you pay that surrender charge, because that could happen. You must be comfortable with that. You must understand that when you go into a stock equity fund, yes, you can make more as you would have done, but you can also lose. Whereas with this index annuity, you're not going to lose principal.
Yeah, and back to that for a moment, he said something about moving it in the S&P 500. As you know, we'd rather see you more a global approach. We'd rather see you have some small value, et cetera, other asset classes in there.
We'd prefer diversification.
Yeah, thank you. I would say bite down hard, take my lumps. I don't know when your surrender date is, because sometimes they come up at the end of the year. Since the end of the year, maybe wait till early next year to do it. But I would do it, clean it up, get on with my life.
Oh, yeah, that is a good point. I hadn't thought of that. If your surrender charge goes down in the beginning of 2022,
period of time. Yeah.
Wait till then.
Sure.
Otherwise, but again, I want to reinforce the fact that while this is what the trade-off is. This is the trade-off we always talk about. Okay, I want to make more money, but I don't want to take any risk. Well, there's your trade-off. You made less money, but you were in a product that in a bad year was not going to go down. It just would sit there. But the insurance company knows how that trade-off works, and it's in their favor. Take our risk quiz. Go take the risk quiz at talkingrealmoney.com and then build a diversified portfolio that's going to be a little less scary if you're going to do this.
And we're not saying the market goes up all the time.
No!
But I will say this. 3 out of 4 years, stocks are up. It's about 75% of months, stocks are up. So when you make this bet that you've readily, Don's just talked about, well, but I have a guarantee, you're really betting against the house, because the house is saying, nah, we know things kind of go up over time. And guess what? House going to keep a lot more of your money. That's just the way it goes.
They kept $71,000 to compensate themselves for eliminating that perceived risk for you. That was the price. Excuse me. All right. I think that does it for another podcast, don't you?
I think it does for me. I know that.
You got to go eat something.
I got to go eat.
All righty. Remember, you can call in questions to us at 855-935-TALK, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh, we forgot to mention in the last podcast, what is the big event that we did not mention?
Christmas.
That's not the one, but hey,
New Year's.
You'd like, send your Christmas gifts to
my birthday's
Don
not
McDonald
far away either, by the way.
I shouldn't say, okay. Yeah,
what?
You got kind of a double dipping thing going there.
Oh, my birthday's at the end of January. And frankly, as you get this age, you're just glad to get another birthday. You've lived that long, but that's a whole other thing.
I've told everybody, please do not give me anything this year. That way I don't have to worry about you. I just don't want to buy gifts.
That's true. That's a good point.
I'm sending all the kids $529 money.
I do the holidays and I do their birthdays. Yeah,
that's my shopping. I'm shopping in Utah.
I think that's smart. Well, they'll thank you one day for it.
No, they won't. I'll be dead.
You probably will be. But here's the thing. We do have a pretty special event coming up in late February. And if you're in the Seattle area, you can come and see us. Yes, you'll have to have a vaccine. Yes, you'll have to wear a mask. Yes, it will be indoors. Yeah, there's a trade-off that I just mentioned earlier. Or if
I'm actually going to wear an oxygen tank and a scuba mask.
Look up on stage with your wheelchair and an oxygen. Here's Don McDonald.
Welcome to Retire Meet.
Thank you. Retire Meet 2022 includes the two of us.
Cough.
I think you should turn your mic off. That it includes Apollo Lepescu. It includes estate planning, specials on Social Security, on housing.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I got a special on Social Security.
Social Security special on aisle 3 right now. Yes,
I will sell you a guarantee. Actually, that's not a bad business to go into. I think I will.
It's called insurance.
Send me a lot of money.
Tom, we already did that. It's called insurance.
Oh, okay.
Insurance
I'll make sure your benefit doesn't go down in 20 years when they're bringing less money in.
Attention, Kmart shoppers. Social Security values at the blue light.
Well, it is the holiday shopping season, Don. So all those things, one place, one day, Saturday, February, now I'm going to forget, 26th. I think I have that right. And if you'd like to join
You
us.
also notice nobody has desk or wall calendars anymore, so we kind
I
of looking
still have
around.
one.
We're going, what's the
I
date?
still, but it doesn't go into 2022. At any rate, please join us online, in person. It'll be fun. If you come in person, the thing that Don promotes every year more than actually the education part is
The sandwich.
wonderful sandwich that they make at Maidenbower.
They make a
And by the way,
sandwich.
I still have 15 of those vegetable sandwiches in my refrigerator.
Nobody,
You're gonna eat one this
people
year.
claim.
Oh,
People
yeah.
claim. Do you have a vegetarian, a
Yeah,
vegan
uh-huh.
offering? Yeah,
Yeah.
We put it out, and even
This
the
happens
vegans,
every time.
even the vegans are going, I'm not at home and nobody's watching. I'm having chicken.
Where's the roast beef? I love
Where's
that.
that turkey?
Yeah. So it's a great event. This is Don's idea 8 years ago. I told him he was crazy. Might still be crazy, but it's
still
worked. A lot
tells
of
me I'm
people have
crazy.
attended. And please, here it's easy to sign up. All right, all you have to do is go to retiremeet, MEET.
MEAT. Sorry, MEAT.com.
Speaking of roast beef, and you can sign up right there. The virtual session is free. So if you're listening to us in Alabama or Florida or wherever, Arizona, you don't want to come to Seattle in February, which I certainly can understand, having just come here yesterday. I pretty much said, really? Let's get the heck out of here. Retiremeet.com. Join us. It's going to be a great day, whether you're there or
You
online.
Think? You think?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I do.
I appreciate your confidence because apparently, I mentioned in yesterday's podcast that somebody wrote us a bad review.
Yes.
And,
that's the pitch.
Well, no, here. This is. Now, I want to ask you all. Do we? I mean, every once in a while, we're having fun, right? Do you smile when you listen to the podcast? Yeah, I think you probably do. Well, I read this last week, but I want to read it again, Tom, because you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
We got a 1-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Is this something I really need to hear?
And this was right next to a review that was 5 stars that said, these chuckleheads might save your future.
I kind of like that
I like that one.
Chuckleheads. I
But
never heard that.
this one is just this. Apparently, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, Brian S. That the middle name is Brian Scrooge. Brian Scrooge
Fits.
wrote this. Don't want a comedy routine to learn about finances.
Okay, let's make it more serious.
Aren't they
No
all
more
flipping
Social
serious?
Security
Really?
Online too. Yeah, got
Aren't
it.
all the financial shows serious? And then he says, just another infomercial for their services. Did we push our services at all this one?
I don't
No.
think we even mentioned anything.
Don't pay for financial advice. Do it yourself.
me
It isn't
right
rocket
now.
science.
I can make you big money. Easy.
Yeah, that's really not even subliminal.
I
When you-
thought I'd say
when you
that.
do subliminal.
They'll make us cut that out anyway, so what the heck.
Okay. It's not rocket science, by the way. And what's funny about that review is the fact that we tell people to do it themselves all the time.
Yeah.
But we also tell you that if you can't handle it, it's not rocket science. As I said last week, it's not rocket science. It's behavioral science.
Yeah,
it's
no, it
not
is
the
behavioral
it's
science.
not the complexity that gets people. It's this thing. This.
But I
brain.
will say one thing about that because someone just wrote me last night and said, I'm thinking about hiring you, but the changes you suggest in my portfolio aren't that massive. Here's the thing.
That's not what we talk about. That's
No,
not
but
what
it's
we do.
I know, but it's a recipe.
Yeah.
That's like saying I'm going to make beef bourguignon, but I'm not going to include the whatever wine you
Bourguignon
gotta have
wine.
it all in there.
It would be the Bourguignon wine.
Okay,
that's
thank
why it's
you. You
called
gotta have-
beef Bourguignon.
You have to have all the parts
It's like
of the recipe.
if you're going to make beef Bourguignon and you
Get
don't
a better
put
one.
in the Cabernet, that's not the wine you use.
Chicken cordon bleu without the chicken. I mean, you have to have all parts of the recipe in there,
without
or
the
it
cordon.
doesn't work. I don't even know what that refers to. But you have to. So it. While yes, you're right. You can just own a couple of index funds. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that doing it with a little more sophistication has made a difference. Put it that way. All right. How's that?
Wow.
Big pitch.
That was emphatic on Tom's part. Got it out of his system. Now, go grill yourself a cheese sandwich or
I
something.
don't know what I'm going to have. Yeah. Okay. I'll find something.
You know, the dog, just go out the door to the left. The dog's kibbles in the laundry room there. Serve yourself
Or
up
that
a good
between
bowl.
a piece of bread. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Have a good one. Have a great lunch. Have a great whatever you're going to have. Please join us for all future podcasts forever and ever until the world ends, and tell your friends too. And thanks for listening. I'm Don McDonald, Tom Cox over there, hanging out, enjoying ourselves as we talk real money.
Talking real money.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for informational, educational, and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Appella Capital, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.